What to do? What to do?
All right. It's exactly 10:15, and I say a very wonderful morning once again to each and every one of us. And I believe we can start this meeting immediately. At this juncture, I like to call this meeting to order. And in doing so, can we please take the Rotary grace?
Oh Lord,
God, our giver
of
we
praise thee for our daily food. May Rotary friends Thank you very much. Thank you. Once again, I welcome each and every one of us to this all-important meeting, the orientation for new members who have joined the club, especially in the last 3 years. Before I proceed with today's program, let me specially recognize once again our club leaders who would have been elsewhere, but they chose to be here. They found time to be here. I'd like to recognize particularly one of our speakers for today, the person of our DGN, Dr. Samuel Ayetutu. We welcome you, sir. Please, let's hear your voice to confirm you are here, sir. Is he here? Yes. I'm very much here.
Thank you very much. I'd like to also recognize a member of the Club Learning Facilitation Team, the person of our PhD, Kayode Owolabi. He's been here waiting for us, ready to transfer knowledge to us, and we kept him waiting. Please, let's apologize to him and recognize him. We recognize you, sir. Good morning, my PhD.
Thank you, my chair. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, my PhD, sir. Sorry for keeping waiting. And good morning, my DNG, sir. DGM.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Let me also recognize we call her the Koshelere of our club, the first female president of our club, now AG, past president and now AG, Titi Sumono. We recognize you, ma'am. Welcome to this platform.
Good morning, my club leaders and fellow Rotarians. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, my AG, ma.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. Without too much ado and taking time, we would like to proceed with today's program. And this orientation program, like we said, is essential for the proper integration of new members into the life of the club. The truth is that as Rotarians, knowledge and learning is continuous. We must continue to learn because it helps our integration, like I've said. It improves our knowledge of Rotary. It helps us to clarify our roles as Rotarians and the expectations the club has of us. This session will also encourage us to be active participants in the club and not just passengers. And more importantly, it strengthens our resolve to remain Rotarians, and we will feel engaged. Very quickly, to take this first session, I'd like to invite to the platform, of course, our DGN, who will be taking us on a very, very important topic that's very critical to our life as a Rotarian, and that is about financing as a Rotarian. Let me not dish out too much on the topic so that I don't let the cat out of the bag. Let me invite to the platform to quickly take us right now our DGN, Veteran Dr. Sam Ayetutu. You're welcome to the floor, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Lieutenant Tokwe Akonde, my own very good friend and brother. I'd like to also quickly pay homage and acknowledge our very distinguished past presidents who are on this call. They have been mentioned adequately and recognized. Permit me to note that I recognize PAG Kayode Wolabi of our members from the founding time, and also Assistant Governor Titi Sumonu, not so much of effort to ensure that she contributes her quota to the growth and development of the club ever since she joined. And to all our new members whom I will proudly and emphatically describe as the future of the Rotary Club of Omole Building, I say a very big, a very warm good morning to you all. My topic is, how do I put it? Lieutenant Tokwe Akonde actually mentioned the topic that was meant for me. I'm trying to share. Hello?
My DGN, I think we should let Bewa share so that it doesn't affect your speed. I think Bewa will share the slide.
Okay, I've already. Okay, so I should close my own because
So
I'm trying to share already.
Speed.
It's showing on my system. I don't know if you can see that your end. Okay.
You can see that it's
right.
actually affecting the screen, sir.
Let's.
Okay.
Is that what?
Go ahead, sir. We are listening, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, can we have Bewa share so that we can move on?
Okay. Please
I should share from my side.
I know I'll never put hands on another person again. I know that I've learned my
Can we see the slide now?
Yes, Rotary Agbewa.
he has made many.
But we can't hear DGN again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
We can hear you now.
Okay, let's go to the. This is just the cover page. Let's go to the. Okay, so thank you. So this is just a general topic that we touch on many things as much as time can accommodate, that has to do with what we need to know as members of Rotary Club of Omole Golden in terms of basic knowledge of Rotary, how we need to function, what the club is all about, the club's pedigree, and
stuff like that. So PhD Olabi will speak specifically on the aspect of finance. Let's go to the next slide. So we'll first and foremost look at it from this beginning, about Rotary International. We know that Rotary Club of Omole Golden is one of the clubs worldwide that make up Rotary International. And that's why we have to start from there. So a brief history. Paul Percy Harris and three others founded the Rotary Club of Chicago in 1905, meaning that the first ever Rotary Club to exist is Rotary Club of Chicago. And that was in 1905. So that was when Rotary was founded. So let me quickly create a little background that is not in the slide. The idea initially came up through the initiative of Paul Percy Harris, who called three of his other friends and said, let us uh, create a fellowship of professionals who can share ideas, mingle together, and then have meetings on rotational basis. So that was how they started meeting from the offices. We're having some
Rotary Aremi Oshijo, please mute your
like
mic.
an echo.
It's Rotary Aremi.
Please, let's mute our
Please
mic.
mute your
Let's
mic,
all
please.
mute our mic. Bewa, please mute all mics except for the speaker, the DGN, please. Mute all mics.
All right, thank you very much. So they started the meeting in the format of moving from one person's office to another person's office on a rotational basis like that. And that was how they came about the eventual name that was given.
Sorry, my DJ, sir. Okay, you can go ahead now.
I've unmuted myself. So now, today, there are over 1,200 Rotarians, 1,200,000 Rotarians in 46,000 clubs, grouped into 529 districts and 34 zones worldwide. So worldwide we have 1,200,000 Rotarians thereabout. And we have 46,000 Rotary clubs. So Rotary Club of Omole Golden is one of those 46,000 Rotary clubs. And then we have what is known as district structure, like the one that I am going to lead in the year 2027-28, our own district 9111. So our district is one out of others that make the 529 districts. And then the districts are further organized under what is known as zones. And right now we have 34 zones worldwide. So our own district belongs to District 22 under Region 27. And then we now come back to our club, Rotary Club of Omole Golden, which is under District 9111. And as at the time that I prepared these slides, we had 79 clubs in the district. Next slide. So, then we also need to quickly look at another important part of the life of this organization, which is the Rotary Foundation. Many of us might have been hearing about TRF, which is the Rotary Foundation. It was established in the year 1917 by Aklom, who was the sixth president of Rotary International Convention. He called Rotarians and said that he wants to move the idea of Rotary starting an endowment fund through which it could be doing good in the world. And in 1928, that endowment fund was renamed the Rotary Foundation. So it actually started as an endowment fund, and it became a distinct entity within Rotary International, meaning that It has its own board and its own administrative structure. So grants from the Rotary Foundation are used for implementation of service projects which always fall within the 7 areas of focus. I have put in bracket that you should endeavor to read about the Rotary Foundation 7 areas of focus. If you just go on your URL and type Rotary Foundation 7 areas of focus, you see a whole lot of information there that time will not permit me to deal with in this session. Next slide. Okay, just before I go to deal with this, the content of this slide, let me remark that our signature project, which is the biggest one we have ever done since we started, which called Omole Golden, the neonatal center at Ifakojaye General Hospital, is one of the examples of projects that were funded by the Rotary Foundation. So it was through the matching grant that we got through the Rotary Foundation in partnership with other clubs that were able to furnish and equip that facility to the tune of about $77,000. You can imagine how tedious it would have been for us to try to raise that kind of money at the club level. So clubs around the world take advantage of sustainable and bold projects. So talking about the Rotary's vision statement, so it said that together we see a world where people unite and take actions to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. So this is the vision of Rotary, and everything that we do as Rotarians speak to this vision. Every policy and every level are all geared towards a continuous and sustained fulfillment of the Rotary's vision statement. Next slide. Next slide. And then the mission of Rotary is also important for us to bear in mind. Rotary's mission is to enable Rotarians to advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through the improvement of health, the support of education, improvement of the environment, and the alleviation of poverty. So we will, if we go through the 7 areas of focus of Rotary, we'll see that this proximity to the 7 areas of focus. And what that means is that through those 7 areas of focus of the Rotary Foundation, we constantly carry out activities and programs that helps us to fulfill the vision of Rotary as Rotarians. Next slide. And of course, we have the object of Rotary, which is a very important philosophical literature that Rotary thrives on. We encourage Rotarians to always guide themselves by this and live their life as Rotarians based on this object of Rotary. The first of the object of Rotary is the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service. Next slide. So the second is high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of worthiness of all useful occupations, and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve society. Third is the application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life. And the fourth is the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service. In all of our meetings, we talk about the object of Rotary, we have them recited. It was important that we make it part of our discussion today because of how central what we do and whom we are as Rotarians are to the object of Rotary. So coming back home now to the history of Omole Golden. So the history of Omole Golden can be traced to sometime in 2003, about July or thereabout, that the idea of creating the club was mooted. I had the privilege of being one of the two persons who came up with the idea of creating Rotary Club of Omole Golden. My humble self and my very good age-long friend and partner, Rotimi Adileye, who happens to be our charter president and doyen, mooted the idea of starting the club. We started calling people together and dealing with the issue of venue and other things that will help us to kick off as quick as possible. Fast forward date 8th of June 2004, Rotary International sent us a certificate of charter after we had sent them all the necessary information and documents that will lead to the charter of the club. So the number of members at charter was 24, and then the number at the moment is 134. So this shows that the club has grown tremendously in the last 22 years or thereabout of its existence. Many people have come and gone. Many have come to stay. And we believe that part of the reasons why we're having this session is to inspire our new members to prepare their mind to be part of the history of this club when it is told in the next 20, 22 years, so that it can be said about us that we also came and were part of those who stayed and carried on with the business of Rotary on the platform of the Rotary Club of Omole Golden. And then we had various classification. Rotary thrives on the issue of classification, meaning that PhD Olabi as an accountant brings his skills and competencies to the table. I, as a communication specialist, bring mine. Somebody who is into building bricks is, and everybody has something to offer. And we put all of those together to give sustainable impact to the communities that we serve. So, major achievements of the club. Over the years, we have moved from one level of development and growth to another. We got to a point that in 2014, 2015, our club was adjudged the overall best club for the very first time in the district. That was in our old district, 9110. And then the following year, 2020, 2015-16, we repeated the same feat by winning the overall best award. And then we came second the following year. We came second overall the following year. We came second in 2018-19. We came second in 2023-24. And we came overall best in 2024-25. Came second overall best in 2024-25. I have not edited this slide to show that in the last year, which was okay, yeah, this one that I just mentioned is the last one, so this is updated. So those are the milestone achievements that the club has been able to record over the years. Okay, sorry, I think I mistakenly pressed something that got me muted and I had to be at the mercy of the host. So now talking about the Omole Golden brand, what kind of Rotary Club is Omole Golden? Of course, there are clubs and there are clubs. And clubs are like various strategic business units of an organization. Some can be doing very well, some can be average, some can be at the lower level. But Omole Golden is a premium brand, is the foremost club presently in Rotary District 9111. And then what are the things that stands this club out? Number one is that we were the first breakfast club on the mainland. So at the time that we started, there was only one breakfast club in the district, which used to be Rotary Club of Palomo. So we thought that it would be nice that we give mainlanders the opportunity to join Rotary, particularly for those who would prefer to join a breakfast club. So, and that has remained one of the things that stand out from the time that we started up to now. And then we have a well-balanced demography, talking about age, gender, ethnic, religious, and diverse classification. Long before Rotary International introduced the issue of diversity, equity, and inclusion, Rotary Club of Omole Golden had very well practiced this. We have done so to the extent that as we speak, if I am correct, we now have the number of female exceeding that of male by at least one or two. And uh, we are so diversified across all the parameters that have just been mentioned here, to the extent that when you look at the issue of balancing, we will stand as one of the best. And this is one of the things that work for us, because each of these dichotomies bring some kind of value to the table and help us to have a more balanced, creative, and robust spread in terms of how we meet, how we mingle, how we do our things, and the kind of results that we get. Exciting Sergeant at Arms sessions. Just yesterday, I am sure we were not up to 30 in our meeting, and then we were able to raise an average of 800,000. That was how Omole Golden had always been since the beginning. Throughout the district, we are known for sergeant at arms that are sergeant at arms sessions that are very exciting, captivating, and that raise good funds for Rotary work. At times you will see us throwing banters. It may even look like we are fighting for those who do not really understand. It's always an attempt to ensure that we look for how to bring out money from each other's pocket, just because we know that we never can give enough to humanity. So, and then we have the issue of excellent dress culture. If you go to some other clubs, you could find people wearing natives without their cap. You could find people wearing dress up without, and they are wearing a sandal or slippers. You could find ladies who will just put on something casual and appear like if they were going to a nightclub. That is one of the things that we had dealt with right from the beginning. We started out as a club where formal appearance is not to be compromised. And this is part of the things that our new members need to particularly pay attention to and run with. And then our meetings are usually fun-filled. We endeavor to create varieties, to bring up innovations that will make one meeting typically different from another, so that members can continue to have sweet memories anytime they come to meetings. Another thing that stand us out as a brand is accountability and transparency. I can say without any doubt that in this district and in many district clubs that I have seen, you can hardly find places where you will see the books of account, you will see the financial position of the club presented in written form with all the details up to pin or matches. Anything that we spend money on in this club is documented, and we make it available to every member, just in an attempt to make sure to reinforce the confidence in them that whatsoever money that they put that they make available for Rotary on the platform of the Rotary Club of Omole Golden is usually well accounted for uh, and transparently also. So, and then we talk about passion for service. For those of us who joined recently, you will have seen that we have very passionate members. And those are the kinds of members we are looking for. We are not looking for people who will join and just join for joining's sake. We want our members to be able to ask themselves at all times, what impact am I making in this club? What position am I going to take up that will help me to express myself and put my own footprints on the sands of time? So the passion that our members have are responsible for those laurels that we had won in the past, and the passion that our members have, especially those of you that joined recently, will also be responsible for what progress we will make as we go on. This is an important part of this orientation program that we need to pay attention to. We, Omole Golden Rotarians are not docile. They are not just people who are in Rotary for just being there. Of course, I will agree with some of you who may be thinking that, okay, but some people don't come to meetings, some people don't show up in the activities of the club, but that is part and parcel of why we are having this orientation program, such that we can make every one of us understand that the onus is on us as individual Rotarians to choose on which side of the divide we want to belong. But like I said, it is only those who have the passion that can experience the joy of Rotary and actually contribute to the continuous growth and development of this club. And that is what we are looking for. Then impressive public image. For those of us who are public image inclined, you will see that the club has one of the most robust public relations apparatus. We are very active on the social media. We are very active on the mainstream media. There is hardly any medium of communication that we do not use to tell the story of the great effort that you make as members of Rotary Club of Omole Golden. So these are the things that come to mind as far as the Omole Golden brand is concerned. Of course, there will be other things that time would not have permitted me to include in this presentation. Next slide. So where to pick up knowledge about Rotary? This is very important. When we were all inducted, each and every one of us got what is known as induction pack, which contains the ABC of Rotary, the club's constitution and bylaws, the MOP, and other things that you can look through and be informed and equipped to function very well as Rotarians. Apart from those ones, we have the Rotary Manual of Procedure, which is one of those I mentioned. I already mentioned club constitution and bylaw. And then the most important one, which is the joker, 9 out of 10 times, is www.rotary.org. If you go on the Rotary website, you will find almost anything you can think of that will help you to find answer to the questions that may be agitating your mind about what Rotary is and what we do in Rotary. And then I believe that all of us have created what is known as My Rotary account. Through My Rotary, you have access to a whole lot of things that some persons who are not Rotarians will not be able to access on the Rotary website. I do not know whether we have a system where Bewa creates My Rotary for members as soon as they join, or it takes them through it. But I want to take it for granted that all of us already have My Rotary account. If any one of us who doesn't have a My Rotary account should please try to deal with that immediately after this training through the assistance of Rotary and Bewa. So then the Rotary Learning Center, of course, is one of those facilities that you may not be able to access except you are registered on My Rotary. And then we have the Rotary Branch Center. Through the Rotary Branch Center, we get all of the support that is required for us to tell the Rotary story in a way that is unified, in a way that is consistent, in a way that projects the image of Rotary, the way the organization wants it to be projected. And So the branch center is a very, very important resource that I will implore all of us to also familiarize ourselves with, still on the Rotary website. And then the last among what I listed here is trainings and at club and district level. What we are doing now is training at district, at club level. And of course, there are many other opportunities to pick up information about Rotary created at the district level. Anytime that this uh, training opportunity comes up, let us make effort to please take advantage of them. And another important one under the training at this level that comes to mind is the uh, Rotary Leadership Institute, RLI. Any one of us as many of us that are able to find time and resources to undertake this, the RLI, I would like to encourage us to do that as quickly as possible so that, because there's so much to learn, it is like an accelerator as far as learning in Rotary is concerned. Next slide. So key programs and meetings. You might have been wondering the things we speak about on the platform from time to time. We are promoting this one. We are saying today is this one, tomorrow is that. I have endeavored to put on these slides some of the key ones. So number one, that you must make effort to be part of and participate actively is a weekly meeting, which is on Fridays at 7:30 for 8 a.m. So you can attend either online, like the last one last week. I was not able to attend physically, but I joined online. And then you can also attend physically, but at least 2 physical meetings in a month is desirable. What this means is that by the time you are not able to make up to 2 meetings in a month, you have already started creating the some gap between you and some other Rotarians and the club at large in terms of the fellowship part of it. I am seeing HGTG Sumonu on this call, but I cannot shake her, I cannot hug her, I cannot. There's a whole lot of things that cannot happen online. So is the physical meetings are much, they present much more unique and uh, uh, organic approaches to fellowship and interaction. And until recently, when Rotary introduced some flexibilities into participation in meetings, we used to have only physical meetings. And in this club, we used to have a policy that suggests that we should ask any member who has missed 4 consecutive meetings whether he or she still wants to continue to be a member or not. But things are easier now, but we don't want a situation where we will have more people staying away from meeting or just joining online meeting. Let us tell ourselves as members who joined recently that we want to be part of those who will be regularly present at meetings, having that minimum of twice in a month. Based my own recommendation to anybody who wants to actually prove that is active and and on ground as far as Rotary Club of Omole Golden is concerned. So board meetings at every third Sundays of the month. In this club, we allow those who are not board members to join the board meeting. We always do it together, except for when they want to vote on anything policy or something that must be through a vote by board members. That's when those who are non-board members do participate. As large as we are all accepted as we're all allowed to come to board meetings either as board members or observants or observers. So let us make effort, and our board meetings are usually very very interactive and very engaging and full of fun, and the kind of entertainment provisions that are usually made available is world class to the extent that you will always look forward to the next one. And then we have club assembly where key decisions are taken especially those having implications on provisions of the Constitution and bylaws. For instance, those of us who are at the last club assembly will see how we ventilated ideas, how people express their opinions about what they think we should do or what they think we should stop doing, and key decisions were taken. That is the typical character of a club assembly. It's important to say that the club assembly is the place where legislative actions are taken. That is where the laws that govern the club, talking about the bylaws and the constitution, uh, propositions are made to them to be adjusted, and then motions are moved, and policies are created through that process. So club retreat is another very important thing that you should not miss. Anytime you hear that a club retreat is coming up, you are encouraged to plan and prepare to not attend, but to participate actively, because that is the place where we come up with strategies for the future, where we review how we are performing, and where we talk about how to make the club more interesting to each and every one of us. And is usually a, a 1 to 2 days activity that gives you the kind of experience that you don't likely get until the next retreat. So anytime a retreat comes up, let us make effort to attend. The next one, district assembly, which is organized by the district for incoming club officers. So if you, for any reason, become one of the officers of the club who are slated for the district training assembly, please and please endeavor not to miss it. Without prejudice to anyone, I will use this year as an example. We didn't have up to 2 or 3 members of this club who were supposed to be at the district assembly present. There were like 2 of them were absent, and that is actually a a drawback, because what it means that those persons are not able to be trained and prepared for the activities for the year, so that they can do well in their offices. And apart from that, that is one of the things that the district leadership look at to uh, gauge the healthiness of a club when the officers are not at training. So please let us endeavor that anytime we have cause to be at the club assembly to take training for our respective roles, we make every plan to ensure that that we are available and that we participate. And then we have district multi-club training seminar. That's another one that is done this time around. The multi-club training seminar has been repackaged into what is known as the zonal summit. So our zone for this Rotary year is zone 4. And when it is the turn of our zone, we will have the training seminar done there. Members of the zone of Rotary from all the clubs within the zone will come together, and then we will learn together, and then we'll have fun together. So district conference, which holds every May of each year, is yet another program that we have to put in mind. In this club, we have a culture of having one of the highest attendance at the district conference. And then members who joined recently should just please look forward to the next one. Very sure that you will come back with testimonies to put it on the lighter mood. So then we have the Rotary International Convention, gathering of Rotarians across the globe, held every May or June of each year. The last one was done in Calgary, Canada, and then the next one will be held in Taipei, and every Rotarian is encouraged to register and prepare to make a journey to Taipei. It promises to be another very unique experience. One thing about Rotary International Convention is that in some cases, they happen in some parts of the world where you would never have on your own thought is worthy of visiting on holiday. But by the time you go and come back, you will feel very good that Rotary took you to such a destination. If not for Rotary, I probably would never have thought of going to Brazil or somewhere like Australia or somewhere like Portugal. You know, for most of us who travel, the places that we usually have in mind is Canada, UK, and some Schengen countries, and United States. So that's that about the Rotary International Convention. For those of you who have not registered for the next convention, please speak with Bewa to guide you on how to have that done. So habits of an effective Rotarians. I'm going to round off very quickly, and I will crave your indulgence to pay attention to this part. So what are the things that a Rotarian does for him or her to be able to judge himself or herself as being effective? Number one is that such a Rotarian attends meetings and other club programs regularly and punctually. Regularly and punctually. So if you are one of those who don't come to meetings regularly, then you begin to score yourself low when the issue of being an effective Rotarian is spoken about. Fellowship. An effective Rotarian enjoys meeting other members and often feels that fellowship is an important is important to Rotary as the actual business part of a meeting. So when we talk about fellowship, we are talking about the interaction that takes place in the meetings. You come to meeting, that's why our meeting time is 7:30 for 8. The 30 minutes before the 8 o'clock is our fellowship time when you are supposed to talk about business, about family life, about personal things with fellow Rotarians, such that when the house is eventually called to order, we know that we are going straight into the meeting and it's business. So it's important that we endeavor, even when we are in the meeting, do we just sit down and we don't talk to the person left to right? There are times to our left or to our right. There are times we have visitors or guests who are invited by other people, and you see that such a person is the one seated next to you. As a Rotarian, part of fellowship is for you to have a conversation with the person without necessarily disrupting the meeting. Some whispers, hello, sir, can I meet you? I'm with you, so. In the course of that, you make that guest feel comfortable, feel at home, and feel welcomed. And that is one of the things that we expect that we should bear in mind as members of the Rotary Club of Omole Building. Vocation. So a Rotarian respects every vocation. They firmly believe that each member should try to excel in their work, and they try to support and help others to reach their full potentials. So Rotarians make effort to lift up fellow Rotarians, to give business opportunity to them if available and possible. It is not a right, I must emphasize, such that somebody will not come tomorrow and complain that PHO Wolabi refused to give him a contract somewhere. It is not a right. It is not. It is just encouraged in an attempt to show that we are concerned about each other, that we are able to make the concept or the aspect of networking come to bear as far as one of the things that we do in Rotary is concerned. So if I am a lawyer or I'm a builder or I'm a communicator or I'm an accountant, it is important that all of you who just joined recently know what I do, and I also know what you do, such that I can recommend you and you can recommend me, and anytime something that concerns me is being spoken about, my name can come to your mind and yours can come to my mind. That is one of the things that an effective Rotarian would like to do. Introduction of new members. I put it to you that any one of you who has spent up to 2 to 3 months as members of this club, you should begin to feel uneasy now if you have not introduced another member. Because what it means is that you want to put an end to the chain. So you need to ask yourself, what about if the person who introduced you did not do so? How would you be able to have the feel of Rotary the way you are doing right now? So an effective Rotarian promptly looks forward to an opportunity to also stand in front of the club one day and be spoken about as someone who has sponsored another Rotarian. And I tell you, that is the trajectory of Rotary Club of Omole Golden. That's the way we have. One person has brought another person from the beginning before we got to where we are now. So let it not stop at your when it comes to your turn. So habits of an effective Rotarian continues. CRF giving, we give sacrificially and selflessly to the Rotary Foundation. It's one of the things that make us effective Rotarians. We don't give because we have surplus of money. We don't give because we don't know what to do with money. We don't give because our we are not like other people who have insatiable urge for accumulation of wealth. Why do we give to the Rotary Foundation? We support the Rotary Foundation because we believe in the ideals of the foundation, which is about doing good in the world, which is about supporting communities in ways that government could not even do in many instances. And most of the time, what the Rotary Foundation does with our money, the beneficiaries of those things are not our brothers, they are not our colleagues, they are not members of our family. And that is the real definition of selflessness. When your resources is channeled towards helping those that are not in any way connected to you. Then, another thing an effective Rotarian should do is what is known as the three T's, which are time, talent, and treasure. So this is straightforward. It's still about making ourselves available and giving our resources to support the activities of Rotary. Discipline is another part of what makes a Rotarian effective. A Rotarian conducts and presents himself in a way that dignifies the Rotary brand. We are not expected to behave like ordinary people on the streets because we are leaders, because we are not just anyhow persons. So we understand the value of self-discipline and know that our productive accomplishments are hard to achieve without it. You can hardly find people who are successful without being disciplined. So payment of annual dues and ERI, PhD Olabi will speak more on this, but this is part and parcel, if not one of the most important things that make us effective Rotarians. All of the ones I have just mentioned, if someone gets a yes, yes, yes on all of them, and when it comes to this one, payment of annual dues and ERI, the person is found wanting, then the person will even be thrown, can lose his membership, and then all the good scores that he has made in all those other parameters now become useless. Next slide. How can new members get involved? This is very important for you to note again. Participate actively in club activities, learn about Rotary from the resources that we have mentioned already, volunteer to serve in various committees, cultivate cordial relationship with members within and outside Omole Golden. Present and conduct yourself as a worthy ambassador of Rotary always. The word always is important. Let's be very conscious that all eyes are on us once we wear the Rotary pin and ensure that we do not misrepresent the organization that we are supposed to represent. So wear your Rotary pin always and use other branded items to promote Rotary. You have anything that shows anybody you are a Rotarian when they enter your office or when they enter your home? Let us make effort to do all of this, and particularly have it at the back of your mind that your dress your appearance is not yet complete until when you put on your Rotary lapel pin anywhere you are dressed to leave your home. So I thank you very much for listening so far, and take them. Any questions?
Oh, thank you very, very much, my ever indefatigable, knowledge-rich DGN. Thank you for this wonderful session, taking us on a journey of how we got here. It's quite illuminating, and we have no other reason to doubt why you have to take this session. Thank you very much. Let's quickly have questions from Rotarians, old and new. Perhaps we want to quickly ask questions. We can drop them in the chat if we prefer that, so that we can quickly take them and go on to the next exercise. Questions, please. Let's have questions. Do you have questions? You can unmute, ask your question, and also need to add, please, let's change our names so that we can recognize us properly. Some of us are using our phone profile as our name. Let's put our name as Rotarians, please, our correct names. Thank you very much. Questions? Okay, to save time, we can always drop our questions in the chat box so that we don't delay further our next speaker, who is also one of our big club leaders. We can always drop our questions, and either of them can take the question as they proceed along. All right. Maybe we're still thinking about what questions we want to ask.
Sorry, Murata Konde, I have a question. Sorry, I was trying to unmute, but was not going through. Can I ask my question?
Please ask your question, Rotary Drosaru.
Thank you, my DJN. Thank you for the expository on the IDs member, being an ID member of Rotary Club of Omole. My question is just one. I just wanted to ask about when you made mention about members who are not board members are allowed to, statutory, we can join the board meetings if you are not a board member. Right. So my question is, who are the statutory members? Because I've seen over the years that where different composition varies when you are board members. So I would like to know who are the people who are allowed to vote, especially when kids are shown about to take in, who are not board members. Are we talking about the chairman of the committee, or both the chairman of the committee and the vice chairman of the committee? And who are the specific one? Because I know this issue was raised when the DG came to during the DG visit, where he said we should highlight some of the key members of the board on our manual. So I would like to ask clarity in regards to the composition of the board at the board meeting, and who's supposed to vote at the board meeting. Thank you, my DG.
Okay. Thank you for that question, Richard Moses. If Richard Tokpakode is in charge now, what method would he prefer that we use? Should we take all the questions if there are still more, or I should just take them as they come?
Let's just use the next 5 minutes to take questions. If there are still more,
Okay.
let's take them.
Okay.
Let's drop them in the chat box. That is faster, so that we can read up and just respond quickly, so that we don't take long in asking the questions.
Okay. All right. So, what we have done over the years took us to this point that makes it look like there's a confusion, but there's no confusion. It's straightforward. What we have done is to accommodate as many people as possible in our board meeting because we wanted our board meeting to be that kind of experience for members, such that they can see how transparent and how painstaking the effort of making decisions in the club or running the club are. But it doesn't mean that we don't have those who are expressly members of the board. So for the purpose of clarity, board member is the secretary, 6 is the treasurer. After those 6 that I've mentioned, then we now have the appointed chairman of committees. There are committees and there are subcommittees. So talking about committees, we are talking about club administration committee, we are talking about public image committee, we are talking about youth service committee, we are talking about service project committee, and then you are talking about member committee. Most other subcommittees will fall under one or other of all of these ones. So those committee chairs are the ones that I mentioned earlier are essentially the board members. They are the officers of the club. That is the way it is in the bylaw, both the club's bylaw and the standard recommended bylaw by Rotary. Now, when it comes to voting on matters, an ideal situation, those ones that I mentioned are the people who are supposed to vote because they are the substantive board members. The ones who occupy positions as subcommittee chairs will necessarily attend board meeting just like other members of the club because they have one role or the other they are also carrying out. I forgot to mention the Rotary Foundation among the major committees. So those ones, the major committee chairs and those that I mentioned earlier who come through elective process are the ones that are essentially. So in our organogram, what the district governor was saying the other time was that we mixed up everyone. We did not actually put the necessary nomenclature to say these are subcommittees and these are major committees. So that's the answer to that. PhD Olabi is raising his hand. I don't know if he wants to add or to what I have just said. Or PhD Olabi, please speak, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, my DGN. I just want to add to what you have said. When we started, you recall that we were just like DGN said, we were 24 at Shatter. And so we felt that we need to promote friendship amongst ourselves. And we did not even limit it to our members, we extended it to our family members, our spouses, our children, for board meetings. But as time proceeds, we saw that we were not maximizing our board meeting. And so we decided that board meetings will strictly be for board members. However, if you wish to attend board meetings, we'll expect that you signify your intention so that you may be accommodated, and you are only allowed to be an observant, and you may not have the capacity to vote. All of this is just to encourage friendship and bonding amongst ourselves. But like he had explained, the clear board members, they are known. And if not, maybe we need to highlight that and really send a clear picture onto every member of the club. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Over to you.
Thank you very much for that. We have looked at there are no further questions in the chat box, so we may take further questions much later in the course of the program. Let me say a very big thank you to my DGN for that wonderful delivery. We have learned from your rich reserve, and we continue to learn because Rotary is a continuous platform for learning. So we thank you. We appreciate you for being here and joining us on this call. And we hope that anytime when we have more queries or observations, we'll defer to you to bring clarity to these things. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And in so doing, let me invite very quickly our PAG Taode Owolabi to please
thank you.
Take over quickly so that we can move to the next phase of the program. PAG Owolabi, please, you are welcome, sir.
Okay. Good morning, the chair. Good morning, DGN, and good morning, fellow Rotarians. It's a privilege to be asked to deliver this at this time. I will see it as just refresher for most of us. Because of who we are as Rotarians and who Rotary International is, it is important that we take this assignment quite seriously. Well, Rotary is a very intellectual organization. I've said it severally that, and that's the strength of Rotary. We really need to be engaged intellectually, and for us to be able to play our role properly. And so I'm not surprised that we're having this. And you will recall how many trainings we are expected to attend in a year as enumerated by DGN. Let's take all of these trainings quite seriously, because that is what makes you an effective Rotarian. I'm sorry about my voice. All of a sudden this morning, I was feeling unwell, but I had to deliver this because of the importance I attach to it. Actually, it's a paper delivered at the last retreat, which is one of the avenues that we can actually get resources as Rotarians. So we will see it as refresher for those that were there, and we will see it as an opportunity for those that were not there to at least be able to learn. Now, Rotarians, okay, let's have the next slide. Well, the topic is about formal dressing and conduct. Dressing in Rotary, there is no hard and fast rule about dressing. However, being an organization comprising business and professional persons, there is an expectation of a decent and befitting dressing from all Rotarians. In Omole Golden, we went a bit further. Next slide. Next slide, please. In Omole Golden, we went a bit further. And in Article 22, in our dressing code, we put dressing to club meetings and fellowship shall be formal English suit and tie or indigenous Nigerian attire with cap or hat to match. You will see that to some, this may be a challenge, just as it was for me. Being a trained accountant, I dress formally from Monday to Thursday. It's a rule in my office. But we had the privilege of dressing down on Friday. And lo and behold, I had looked forward to dress down. And I joined Rotary Club for Omole Golden. And so it became a struggle. And we started this struggle. But because it is something we have held quite dearly, I had to succumb. And so my dressing becomes formal from Monday to Friday because I cannot, because of that, not attend meetings. Some of us we have pressed. Before, I tried to introduce what we call cravats. I was using cravats as against tie. And the likes of DGN will counter until I had a total turnaround. We have the likes of Apache, who never knew how to wear caps, but today he will never dress in native attire without putting cap. And that's the impact we have had as Rotarians of Omole Golden. I normally say, if you do Rotary very well and do it properly, chances are that then you will profit more than whatever you have given in. And so it is with a whole number of us. Next slide, please. Members may dress casually on the last Friday of every month. The casual dressing must, however, still be fit and proper for business. Because of pressure on formal dressing, I think at the time we yielded to the pressure from some members, and we adopted last Friday as a dress down meeting day. But sincerely, some of us did not feel good about that. But majority must carry the vote, and we must actually be sensitive to the needs of our people, particularly as we have varied age group and professionals. But you will observe that a good number of us are actually going overboard with the issue of dressing down, like wearing shorts and wearing slippers. No, we shouldn't encourage that. One of the things that actually stood us out as Rotary Club is our dressing. Anywhere it's known in the district, anywhere you see a member of Omole Golden, you cannot take away its perfect dressing. And that's we want to preserve. I'm sure maybe in future, there may be need for us to even review the issue of last Friday. If you have to be formal, be formal. I'm just highlighting this. So please, particularly new members, I want to encourage you. If you have to dress down, when you wear your kaftan, you may just take off the cap, but you still need to put on your shoe. And the issue of wearing shorts or knicker for the ladies should not be encouraged in any way. We all know what it means to be formally dressed, and we need to act like that. That is concerning dressing. Please, let's take it to heart. You should dress the way you want to be addressed. If you dress properly, in actual fact, the credit goes to you. The respect you get from it goes to you. The club hardly benefits, but then let us know what we are doing as Rotarians. Let's be formal. Formal means you can't wear shirts and trouser and tie alone. It has to be completed with a suit. For native, you need to put on your cap at all times, except last Friday of the month. That is per the dressing. I will wait till question time for any clarification concerning dressing. Now, Rotarians' conduct. The Rotarians' conduct is driven by the core values of the organization. Remember, I told you that this organization is an intellectual organization. That's why we are not just going to admit anybody. That's why we will insist that you attend at least a minimum of 3 meetings just for evaluation of who you are. Because there are some core values that is driving us as Rotarian. 1, we call it service. 2, are you service oriented? 2, do you enjoy fellowship? 3, are you diversified? 4, are you an integrous person? Can people depend and trust you? Trust is at the heart of our activities and actions as Rotarians. And the last one is leadership. If you do not aspire to be a leader, then never bother to be a Rotarian, because we are looking for future leaders. We'll expect that after being a member of Rotary for Omole, your aspiration should go beyond Omole. You should aspire to be a district leader. You should aspire to be a national leader. You should aspire to be an international leader. And so, if you restrict your leadership to Omole Golden alone, I dare say that there is need for you to review your motives. Because if you are useful at Omole Golden, then you will be super useful and be more impactful if you move to the district. Now imagine you operating at the international level. Good enough, we have the privilege of having a Nigerian becoming the Rotary International president-elect. I mean, how happy can we be? And so that can be you, that can be I, if we are deliberate about it, if we conduct ourselves as such. It is open to every one of us. And so we say that those values represent the guiding principle of the organization's culture, and by extension, the priorities and actions of individual Rotarians. There is expectation of good conduct motivated by those values. Whatever you do at all, we'll expect that it is inspired by those values of service, fellowship, diversity, integrity, and leadership. Some of us, we have had our experience. Now, as a Rotarian, once you say yes, we expect your yes to be yes. And in dealing with you, the moment you say you are a Rotarian, we would drop our guard because we know that you are responsible. Now imagine if we found you to be otherwise. That will put a permanent dent on that, not only you, not the club, but on that organization internationally. Some of us, we have enjoyed the privilege of being a Rotarian, even outside the shores of this country, where by mere use of that pin, we have actually received favors that will not ordinarily be given to an average person. Because of what? Not the person had not known us, but he knows what Rotary International stands for. And if you can be enlisted and inducted as a Rotarian, then you must have passed through the mill and you must have actually be given a clean slate. And so I want to encourage us as Rotarians, let us take all those values quite seriously. Be at service project sites, be at fellowships, like the DDN said. A minimum of 2 meetings in a month is not bad, but that is not even good enough. Some of us do 100%. Why? Not because it's convenient. No. Let me tell you, Friday is the only time I leave my house before 12 noon. Between Monday and Thursday, you can be sure you are going to meet me in my house if I am not out of town. But imagine the sacrifice. And yet, I make every effort. My wife knows, my children know. In actual fact, if I don't go for such meetings, then they know that something major is wrong. That is the attitude I will expect we all cultivate. It's for our own benefit, it's for the good of the club and the district at large. There is expectation of good conduct motivated by these values. It is those values that actually distinguish Rotarians and Rotary International from other organizations. That's true. Like I said, even outside the shores of this country, where you do not know whom you are dealing with, by mere wearing your pin, you get some things that an ordinary average person will not get. I do not think we need to take that for granted. Rather, we need to build on it. Let's be driven by integrity. Let's be driven by service. Let's be driven by those other values that have been enumerated. Thank you. Now, for you to be an effective Rotarian that will have good conduct, discipline is at the core of such Rotarians. They understand the value of self-discipline and know that productive accomplishments are hard to achieve without it. I think you cannot achieve anything of substance if we are not disciplined. A good number of us, we need to up our game in the area of discipline. Discipline to come into meetings, discipline to prioritizing our contributions, discipline in terms of the DGN mentioned the issue of annual dues. Yes, annual dues is something every Rotarian in that club of Omole Golden can afford. But some of us will delay because we have not shown enough discipline. Because we do spend other money. Prioritize your annual dues. I, as Rotarians of over 20 years, I pay my annual due first Friday of July since I joined Rotary Club of Omole Golden. It's deliberate. It's planned. I have strategized. I don't pay before then, but I pay first Friday in July. You can do same. Because from 1st of July, we are indebted to Rotary International if your name is on the portal. And so if you do not pay, and even pay on time, it means we are actually using other people's money or money that should have been used for other things like projects to settle your own payment. That is not good enough. Let's be disciplined in payment of our annual due. Let's be disciplined in the way we relate with one another. Next slide, please. Rotarian conduct is summarized thus. Please, let's take time to look at this. A person whose activities are a result of his or her personal goodwill and a sense that the world will be a better place as a result of his or her work and effort. Can I take it again? A person whose activities are a result of his or her personal goodwill. And that's why if you are not somebody of value, we will necessarily not admit you. Because what do you have to offer? We are trying to come together to solve a problem. If you are a problem unto yourself, how can you be of assistance? And it seems that the world will be a better place as a result of his or our work and effort. Will you say, on account of you being in your community, on account of you being a member of your family, on account of you being a member of a group, that community, that family will be better. That is the conduct that we as Rotarians should carry, such that when people see you and afterwards they now know that you are a Rotarian, they will say, no wonder, oh, he's a Rotarian. That was the kind of comments we used to get in those days, where when you see a Rotarian, it's instantly somebody you can depend, you can trust. If he says, I will do this, he will strive to do it without excuses. Are we like that? Can we be trusted? For example, we all belong to one committee or the other. How active are you? What's your contribution to that committee? What initiative have you brought onto the table? And that's why we are saying diversify. We want varied discipline, such that when you bring yours, I bring mine, the DGM brings in, Aegis Mono brought us, then together we will be able to build a viral society that will be better for all of us. Next. And I think that is the most important thing that we should drive in our club. A person who conducts him or herself following the four-way test at all times, not at some times, who does not flutter wealth or boast of his or her possessions. Remember, Rotarians are not the very rich ones. If you really want to get people that are rich, you won't get them within Rotary circle, because there is that temptation for you to get more greedy as you become richer. And so it's first and foremost service, compassion, kindness that is driving every Rotarian. We know where to go if you want to make money. We know where to go if you want to socialize. Go to a country club, go to Yoruba tennis club. They are there. But if you want to help the needy, if you want to make this world better, and you have the heart to truly want to, then I will say without missing words that Rotary is where you should be. And so, my fellow Rotarian brothers and sisters, let us be people that conduct ourselves according to four-way test. And I should expect that we all know the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair? Will it promote goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? If we truly live out this, definitely the environment we find ourselves will be better. Thank you. Next slide. I say thank you already. Questions? Next slide. Questions. Next slide. Question.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my PAG. Thank you very much for that delivery. So let's quickly invite questions from Rotarians on this call. Please, let's have questions. Whatever is not clear, if you have salient points you want him to emphasize on, please, let's point it out where we are unclear on our knowledge, as Rotarians, as new Rotarians. If you have any area of doubts, concerns, observations, this is the time to please ask. We have our veterans here now. We can ask them questions. Our DGN is still on this call, available to take any questions, just in case you have any. Let's take this opportunity to do that. There are no questions on the chat yet. I take it that knowledge has been passed, and we are now well informed about who we are as Rotarians, why we are in Rotary, what is expected of us as Rotarians, our active engagement.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. We
Good
can hear you
afternoon, ma'am.
clearly. Please
Yes, my name is
introduce yourself and
Oluwaseun.
let's have your question. All right.
Yes, please. Thank you. My name is Oluwaseun Oshikoya. Thank you, PAG Owolabi and DGN for the fantastic presentation. I just needed a clarification. I once overheard or I learned that what makes you a Rotarian really is for you to pay your dues. Once your due is paid, nobody can hold you for any other thing. Is this correct? So there's ERI, there's Rotarian Foundation to be paid and all that. So is it just okay? You know, what keeps us as a Rotarian is for you to pay your dues. So should we? I don't know. Can you just clarify that for me? Thank you.
Okay, let me take that. And if there is any addition, the DGN can add to it because either of us can actually answer. Now, it is clear that a good number of us, that statement, payment of your annual due is one of the requirements. If we have to enforce according to the books, if you are absent from meetings 4 times, is enough ground to disengage you. That's to tell you how serious attendance at meetings are. If we are absent 4 consecutive times, it's enough ground to actually disengage you. That means you are perhaps not interested. Because if we don't get to meet, but because of the event of COVID and the introduction of hybrid, and that's why the DGN said, except where you find it impossible to attend physically, you have to be there physically. I see a good number of us, we don't even know ourselves, particularly with our growth. And so if you restrict yourself to online meetings without attending physical meetings, how do people know you? When you have issues, how do we come in? When you have something to do, how do we celebrate with you? We greet some people, happy birthday, truly that have not attended even one meeting, maybe after their induction. But we do it just to encourage. But if we have to implement what is in the books, we should have asked a good number of people to think twice. So it is not enough for you to pay your annual dues. That is just one of the things you should do. Fellowship is important. Attending meetings is very key. Being at project site is very key. I mean, all of those things we call core values. It's very, very important. Thank you. I don't know if DGN has anything to add.
Sorry, what about other payments like ERI and stuff? Because, you know, when I heard that person say, well, ERI is not compulsory, and, you know, so
okay,
I just...
Let me clarify the issue of ERI. ERI is every Rotarian every year. And we have made every Rotarian that is willing to join our club to realize that we are an all-ERI club. Even in the presentation of DGN, it was mentioned. So ERI, ordinarily, it's compulsory for our club. We have said it. And not for our club. You will see, that's why it is coined every Rotarian. It's not necessarily Rotarian of Omole Gold. Every distinct. So if you are a Rotarian, you are able to support the Rotary Foundation with a payment of $100. Sincerely, it calls for some reevaluation. It calls for some reevaluation. It's something that we should do along with our dues. Along with our dues. And that's why the encouragement we can have is if you pay half year, please add your ERI to it. Because that's what makes you an effective Rotarian. We have Rotarians and we have Rotarians. just like I mentioned, we have Rotarians that don't come for meetings, even though we see them maybe occasionally online. But we are saying it is not the norm, it's an exception. Do not be one of them. The joy of Rotary and Rotarian is in engagement and interaction. We really need to see you. We really need to interact with you. That is when you can be effective. So, other payments like SAA, project contributions, and any other payment are part and parcel of responsibility of an effective Rotarian. ERI is concluded for Omole Golden, you must pay for ERI. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, my PhD, for that detailed explanation to clarify the club's position on ERI and club deals. Can we take further questions so that we can bring this meeting to a
Thank you, thank you, my PhD, and thank you, DGN. My name is Rotary Roland, and I have two questions, but PhD have answered one, which is about the areas and annual due. But the other one, I just need a clarification, and I thank God that Treasurer is also online. I have discovered for like 2 months now, the dollar has been coming down, and we've been seeing the effect on that on the foundation as well. But for the district, the club level, that is under the annual dues and there is, it has still remained the same figure we be posting. Is it because I didn't know the club or the district? So I don't know why this, because I remember under the last Rotary year, anytime we have difference in dollar, is also always affect our annual dues and remain the same the posting. That the other one appears to answer that. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Well, can I take it, Chair?
But I think PhD will have attempts to answer this question. Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Okay. Yes. The difference why there may not be need for readjustment is it is not significant. The annual deal as worked out by the treasurer, it's about for half year, I think it's 105 they say. And as a result of drop in dollar, it will get you to about 100,000 or thereabout. It is not appreciable. The difference is not really much. And at the end of the day, if you follow what is being posted, we'll probably have a difference of less than 5 to 8,000. That would obviously just be at the club's purse. It does not really have any impact. I think that is the reason. We have the treasurer, like you said, on there. But if we keep on changing every year, the difference is not really much. And so I guess that's why there is no need for adjustment. But we know that the semi-annual now revolve around 100 and 105. With this drop, it's probably going to be around 100. Before, I think it was 105. Before then, it was even less than 105. I guess it was after the increase that it moved to 105. So it's not appreciable that will cause alteration every now and then. I think that answers that. If we have an appreciable difference, then obviously we can look at it, and then if need be, either ask those that have paid to get some refund or get them to donate to our project. That will be the attitude. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much, my PhD.
Good morning, sir. My PhD, my DGN, and fellow Rotarians in the house. My name is Rotarian Ogunshola Oluwasheo. So I have a question, or maybe two. I want to confirm regarding the club retreat, annual retreat. How important is the club annual retreat to all members, seeing that it's just once in a year? And are there any consequences for or any disciplinary action? I don't know how to put that now, for any Rotarian that does not attend our club retreat if they do not have maybe cogent reason for not attending, maybe on earth grounds, or maybe probably they are out of the country or out of town. You understand? And this also applies to the district conference also.
Maybe my DGN want to take that. My DGN.
Okay, all right, thank you. So thank you, Rocha and Ogushola. You have just spoken about what the club does in respect of people who do not important training or other activities that are supposed to be almost sacred in the club. So when it comes to not to use the word discipline in Rotary, because of the fact that we are all volunteers, we are leaders, we are friends, the organization thrives on is the commitment that people put across from the beginning. Interviewed in the course of joining Rotary, and we ask specific questions. Would you be able to do so, 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 and so, 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 and so, so? Please give.
My DGN, it seems
Yeah.
your
So I was
network
talking
is
about
unsteady.
the commitment that people. Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, you
Yes,
are. Please go ahead.
So I'm saying that Rotary actually thrives on the commitment that members make upon joining. So those who renege in living up to those expectations have decided to dishonor themselves. We will not pick a cane and begin to whip them. What we will do by to a large extent. Let's take our club retreat for instance. Imagine anyone who missed that session, how to what to do with our faults and stuff like that. Imagine what anybody who missed that session will have hotel on a Friday morning. We pick up from what the guest speaker will say, or from the laughter that you will laugh field, you get some value. So the issue is that the only area that we have to for training, for grooming, for find themselves into such positions.
I think we lost our DGN.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
I think
PhD, please, maybe you want to conclude on
let
that.
me just what the DGN is trying to say is that as a club and as an organization, we are not going to bully anybody. We are not going to, we can't whip anybody. We can only encourage. And according to the philosophy of the organization, it profits most who serves best. All these things we are talking about, essentially, on the long run, it's for that individual benefit. So if you attend the last retreat, the kind of connection, the kind of fun, the kind of bonding, you can't get it if you are not there. And so you don't get to be known. And so when there are issues, who is going to intervene for you? Because people barely know you. All of these things are for our own good. And as we get better, the club gets better and the larger society gets better. That's just it. It's an encouragement. We will continue to encourage people that retreat is important, prioritize it. This training we are doing, maybe less than half are those people in this training. And they will come up with excuses. I am engaged, I am this. But if you attend this training and you put your mind to it, you will know that personally you have gained one or two things. And that's what it is. That's what Rotary International thrives on. It is at the end of the day for our own benefit. And so we can only encourage people. And that's why we'll notify ahead there will be retreat at so time. I guess the idea of retreat, even globally, started some years back. I think just about 5 or 6 years that they made it part of Rotary culture to have retreat. Before then, individual clubs do think there is need for training, there is need for retreat, and in retreat is both fun and training. And so let's have retreat. But I think some years back, Rotary encourage all clubs to at least have a retreat once in a year. And so we encourage everybody, both old and new, to prioritize these meetings for their own good and for the good of the club. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my PAG, for that detailed follow-up response to the questions. Our time is way fast spent. I don't know if the DGN is back online. We lost him. There seem to be no further questions on our call from members. Is there any question, please? Signify by raise of hand so that we can be bringing this meeting to a close. Is there any other question we want to be treated or dealt with. Let's visit now. We hope to end by 2:05. And I believe that, like I said, learning is continuous. So we can always ask questions from our club leaders where we need clarity. This is not the end of our learning process. This is just to bring us together and share knowledge. Learning will continue. In the absence of any further question, let me especially thank our PAG. Despite his state of health, he has found time to join us and to provide knowledge on this platform. PAG Owolabi, a very, very big thank you to you for being available to do this for us. That's why we call you Baba Oba. You are the king of boys anyway. So I'm a we thank you so much. Let me also quickly thank DGN. We are happy you are DGN now. We are going to the federal in quotes. So we'll be moving to the federal level. We'll go and transfer knowledge and share the Omole golden spirit at the district level. So we're looking forward to that. Let me also thank for standing by us, AGTT Sumonu. She started with us and she's still here. Quite commendable and very wonderful. We thank you.
Thank you.
All the other Rotarians that joined us, stood by us throughout this session. Let me recognize Rotarian Adetola, Ayabade Nekon, Rotarian Kenny Showme, Rotarian Moses Durosharo, Rotarian Motolani, Rotarian Prince Femi. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. I see Rotarian Aditutu Oguyemi. I see Rotarian Ngozika, Sandra. Thank you. Rotarian Jefferson, our new member. Thank you. Rotarian Temitope Adeniba, thank you. I see you. I see Dr. Bakari, our PE. I see you. Thank you for joining us. Rotarian Folashade Kazim, I see you. Rotarian Babafemi, our Mr. Drummer. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful session. We have learned from the feet of those who are knowledgeable, those who will continue to lead us, so that by the time we are fully taught, we can begin to take positions and draw from these learnings.
My general, you didn't mention my name.
What's your name on this call? Yeah, I told you to change your name. What's your name?
I'm Rotary.
What's your name on this one? Are you not Coco Realtor?
Yes.
I told you now. I said change your name.
No,
I recognize you. No problem.
The recognition is nullified. We don't have a member of this club who is Coco.
We don't have the member of this library, Coco Realtor. Go and change your name.
Coco side Realtor.
No.
Is that your Rotarian? Is that your con? Anyway, my DGA, they are learning, so let's accommodate them.
We should encourage them.
Thank you so much. We should encourage them to continue learning. They are learning. So I thank everyone, too numerous to mention, for being on this call, and we'll see you on the next one. Do have a lovely weekend, and see you at the fellowship on Friday as we go to on the train ride. So on that note, I say a big thank you to every one of you. Thank you, and God bless all.
Thank you too. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks to all our discussants. I've been so impactful. God bless you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a lovely weekend.